Hi, everybody. How are you?
So good.
Here we meet again.
Here we are again.
I swear, I can't get over how much fun this is for me sometimes. So we, it's November, 20-something, and we've got a week of fun things coming up for everybody, I think. I've got a few fun things. Tomorrow's my last day of school. Thank goodness. I don't think I could do a full week this week.
Oh, you deserve the break.
Honestly, sometimes I'm like, as a teacher, I'm like, I would love teaching if I taught 2 to 3 times a week, and that was it.
I don't know how you do that every single day.
I don't either.
You're amazing.
I know. I really don't know how I do it. 99% of the time, I'm like, I cannot physically go to work right now, and then I just do it.
Because obviously, not on top, on top of teaching, like, doing your job, you also have to, like, take care of kids in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure that, they're not getting in trouble or, like, putting their lives in danger.
It's a lot, and you have to talk the whole time.
Yeah.
You have to prepare to teach the future generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you do that?
No stress, though, and no pressure. But you're amazing for what you do.
No, I try to plan as much, like, downtime. And I'm like, okay, you guys are writing something, like, oh, shoot, sorry, you'll hear that on the microphone. I'm like, if they're writing something, sometimes I just, like, sit down. And I'm like, close my eyes.
That's exhausting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you for this week.
I know. Tomorrow, half a day left. That's it. I'm going to be there for like 4 hours.
Well, that's nice.
So it's going to be perfect.
Nice.
And then I'm going to come home and take a nap. I got a turkey today. They gave me a turkey.
What?
I know.
Like a frozen one?
I know. I'm like, what am I going to do with the turkey?
Is it frozen?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I didn't know this. But for a frozen turkey, you can't thaw it in like
a day. No.
It takes like 5 days.
Right.
Gosh, can't
Like
know
leave
that.
it in the fridge to thaw it, de-thaw it.
Uh-huh. Both. Thaw it.
Defrost it?
Defrost. De-thaw. No, it's not de-thaw. It's just thaw.
It's just thaw.
Yeah.
English,
De-thaw.
man.
I don't know this
And then
language.
defrost. Yeah.
Defrost. Okay. Make it not cold and cookable. Takes 5 days. I had no idea. So
That's
I got
crazy.
the turkey. I was like, oh, perfect. I'm just going to take the stuff out. I was so excited. And Cody gets home. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I just want to make sure I have the turkey ready for tomorrow. He's like, tomorrow? He's like, why didn't you tell me you were in charge? I was like, I wanted to, like, surprise you. Like,
make a turkey.
He's like, well, I would have told you to go to the store, like, last night to get the turkey at least.
Oh,
that's
so
live and
funny.
You learn.
You live and you learn.
Well, the
truly.
ham was good.
Okay, good.
It was
Yeah.
really good.
All the food we had. So we had a little Friendsgiving last weekend, and we wore wigs. It was actually way fun. I was surprised at how much fun I had wearing the wig. And
I was like a different
idea.
person. Different personality.
like part of me
for sure.
kind of wants to start just wearing wigs
You should.
all the time,
Yes.
but I don't know.
Yeah, no.
So Thanksgiving's coming up this week, and we have lots to be thankful for. So we kind of want to talk a little bit about that today. We want to hit on a few just like different aspects of Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
you guys ready?
Yes.
I can start us off with a little Thanksgiving trivia.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
And again, we were not, I want to say, most of our childhood was lived in another country.
Right. Right.
So a lot of this we've probably never heard of. They probably never taught us in history, but
I'm going to fail this.
we'll just
so
see
bad.
how we do.
I like to pretend I know trivia.
Literally,
so
I don't even know when Thanksgiving is every year until someone tells me it's tomorrow. And I'm like, okay.
It's tomorrow. Well, we can talk about that later too, how in our countries,
Yeah.
if we celebrated Thanksgiving or like what we would hear growing up about Thanksgiving in America.
Yes.
All right, this is the first question. True or false? Abraham Lincoln was the first American president to declare Thanksgiving as a holiday.
False.
You're right. False. George Washington.
I was going to say, Abraham Lincoln was way later than that.
Yeah, I didn't know. George Washington issued a proclamation to observe Thanksgiving to observe the adoption of the U.S. Constitution. Did I read that right? Yeah, that's weird. Maybe they have a typo in here. James Madison also announced the observance of Thanksgiving in order to celebrate the end of the War of 1812. John Adams supported observing the holiday for general good fortune. So it sounds like a little bit of what I read too in like the history. Like, obviously, the first Thanksgiving they weren't like, oh, we're gonna make this a holiday. It was just kind of started happening around the same time of the year as like a fall harvest situation.
I never thought about that. Like when it actually became
like official. Yeah.
That's
so
weird.
it was like years of having this tradition, you know, around the same time of the year. And then it wasn't until apparently George Washington that he declared it an actual holiday.
Crazy.
Love that.
Let's see. Okay, true or false? One of America's founding fathers suggested the turkey, rather than the bald eagle, be the national U.S. bird.
I feel like that's true.
Yeah, I feel like that's true, but what do I know?
That's true.
Could you imagine the turkey being the national bird for the United States?
Right? No, yeah, it's actually true. Benjamin Franklin in 1784 suggested the wild turkey would be a more appropriate national bird instead of the bald eagle because, though silly and vain, turkeys are more respectable birds and are birds of courage.
I don't know, but bald eagles are pretty cool.
I know, like an eagle, like...
Right.
And you go...
It's like more of a predator, right?
Right, and it's like so majestic. It's
like
powerful.
Right, you look at it and I've never seen one.
The turkey was not the move.
Yeah,
Dude.
Sorry, Ben Franklin. You
Oh,
good thing we didn't listen to you.
Yeah,
that would have been lame.
It's so lame.
Poor turkey.
not the vibe.
We can't eat the national bird.
Right.
Like,
What would we eat instead? Granted.
Ham? I don't know. But it's not like the turkey.
Right.
Yeah, but people have always eaten turkey.
Right.
You can't. It's like making a chicken the national bird. Like it's just weird.
Well, and apparently also at first Thanksgivings before it was official, they didn't have turkey. They had
They
other
apparently
foods.
ate a bunch of fish and
they had
a bunch
other
of
foods.
stuff.
It wasn't like turkey
Turkey, mashed
right away.
potatoes, cranberry sauce, stuffing.
Yeah, pecan pie.
Pumpkin pie.
Crumble cookie.
I still have some.
Oh yeah.
And every day I take a bite.
I'm so glad you guys took that from my house.
I'm not glad we took those from your house because I've been munching
Oh,
on
that would
this.
have been bad. I got what, 12?
Wait, sorry, what is this?
She brought crumble cookies.
Oh.
And then she told us to take them home because she's like, I'm not going to eat them. And so I took them home. But every day I'm like munching on these crumble cookies. And I'm like, stop. I'm like.
The flavors are good too.
Oh my gosh. Those like chocolate chunk ones.
Oh my gosh, I know. They're my favorites.
So
The
good.
hazelnut ones.
So good.
It's still crazy to me how big and quickly Crumble grew.
Oh, Crumble.
Did you know they have a podcast?
Crumble has a
They
podcast.
do?
You know what we should
What do they
do?
talk about? Cookies?
I don't know. But it's like the people that work for Crumble. I don't know what they talk about. I haven't heard of them. But
You
they
know
have
what
a
we should
podcast.
do? We should like eat a box of Crumble every time we record, and then maybe they'll like sponsor us or something, or just give us free Crumble
smell
cookies.
We'll just put it on
cookie.
top. I'll like take a bite and then just...
We like Crumble.
I
we
love
just don't want to
Crumble.
get fat.
I don't care anymore.
I
know.
do.
I feel ya. Those chocolate
I
chip
don't
cookies.
care.
All right, back
Okay,
to the
next.
trivia. This one's kind of weird. In 2007, okay, true or false? In 2007, 2 turkeys earned a trip to Disney World on Thanksgiving Day.
You know, I will believe that.
Yeah?
That probably did happen.
Well, I mean, they pardon
People are ridiculous.
turkeys every year at the White House, so
So when they say pardon, they just like, we're
don't
not going to
kill
kill
them.
you?
I think so, yeah.
They
But then
What?
they kill everyone else?
Right,
All
I'm like,
the other
well,
turkeys?
okay, but did you see the turkeys that were pardoned this year? Were so beautiful. Then they
What does
named.
that mean to pardon a turkey?
I
like-
just learned
It's
about
like
it like
you
last
don't
year.
die today.
It's kind of like a, I don't want to say ritual because that sounds weird. It's kind of like a tradition for the president to like... what is
Not
it?
kill those
like
turkeys.
not kill the turkey in front of it. Like, oh, I pardon you. Like, I pardon you. I like... It's weird. I don't know how it all started.
I'm gonna look into that because it is
Me too, because
interesting.
I don't really know anything about that.
Yeah, but I know that the turkeys pardoned this year. There was 2 of them, and their names were Chocolate and Chip. How cute!
Aw,
Chocolate
okay,
chip.
that's
So they probably kill it like the next day.
Right, I'm like, does that mean that?
You're pardoned, but not really.
I'm like, does that mean they don't have turkey at their dinner,
I know. It's
or
weird.
do they just have like
Yeah,
the
they
ugly
do.
little cousin turkey that they did kill? You know?
No, they have turkey for sure. It's
We'll
the
have to look
president of the
into
United
it.
States. He's eating turkey on Thanksgiving.
We'll have to look into it, and I'll do like a little trivia on our stories. Like, do you
Right.
know what the pardon actually means, or what?
We'll come back when we are full of knowledge of that.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, it's true that 2 turkeys earned a trip to Disney World. President George W. Bush pardoned 2 turkeys named May and Flower, who were flown to Orlando to serve as honorary grand marshals for the Disney World Thanksgiving parade.
Man,
Can you imagine being a turkey? I'd want to be that turkey.
Yeah.
I want to be Flower.
that'd be me.
Okay, this is a cool one. Eating turkey, true or false? Eating turkey does in fact make you sleepy.
Well,
I've never heard of
based
this one.
on
Wait, was that a true or false question?
Yeah, true or false? Eating turkey does in fact make you sleepy.
Based on the way you said that, I'm going to go true.
I don't know.
No?
That's true.
Eating turkey makes you sleepy?
Yeah, it says turkeys contain an amino acid tryptophan, which is a natural sedative.
What?
Though eating turkey likely contributes to post-meal sleepiness, it is more feasible that the sleepiness is a result of the large amount of food eaten, as well as the carbs, the carbohydrates and fats consumed with the turkey during traditional Thanksgiving meal.
It's not the turkey.
It's everything else.
It plays like a 1%.
It's the Thanksgiving meal. I'm like, yeah, like everyone takes a nap after their Thanksgiving
Those
meal.
Thanksgiving naps slap.
Oh my
so
gosh,
hard.
not better
You
than
know,
Christmas
leftovers, and then you wake up from your nap, you still are stuffed, but you're like,
I'm just going to have 8 bites of pie
so
real quick.
Good. Oh my
Whipped
gosh.
yeah, dude.
Oh, I'm so excited for this week.
Okay, this one's kind of cool. True or false? Native Americans used cranberries for more than just cooking. The fruit was used as a medicine too.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. And
Cranberries are amazing.
We drink cranberry juice all the time for
For healing.
for healing purposes.
Yes.
I'm
all
sure-
types of healing.
I'm sure they also use it for like dyes.
Oh yeah.
Like all those like rich
Or, like,
colored
makeup,
fruits.
lipstick.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
True
true.
for a cranberry.
Yeah, we love a good cranberry.
Yeah,
I
Native
almost
Amer-
bought cranberry juice today, and I was like,
I love
why
cranberry.
do
I actually hate it, but because it tastes like medicine to me. But like I love like cran apple or like
Oh yeah.
the mix cran mango.
Mm-hmm.
Love those. So
Yeah, and it says the Native Americans used cranberries for cooking, but they also used them to treat arrow punctures and other wounds. They also used the fruit to dye fabric.
There you
Perfect. The name cranberry came from the Pilgrims. The drooping pink blossoms in the spring reminded them of a crane. A crane is in like an animal?
that's the only thing I can think of. Or like
That's weird.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Everything is just weird. Honestly, the more you look into history, things make sense.
Nothing
And,
makes sense.
No, when you try to figure out why people decided to do certain things, it's just like, you guys.
Or is that saying the more you know,
The less you know.
the less you know?
Yeah. Or
All I
less
know is that I know nothing.
you
Yeah,
understand.
we know nothing. Okay, last one. Okay, I guess there's kind of 2 last ones. Okay, we'll try this one. True or false? The Thanksgiving tradition of watching football on Thanksgiving started in 1934 with the first National Football League, the NFL, game that took place on the holiday. So basically, that football, like watching football on Thanksgiving started in 1934.
Well, we're changing things this year.
Oh,
We're
yeah?
watching the World Cup.
Yeah, we're watching the World Cup.
We're changing traditions.
I mean, we'll probably watch both, but yeah.
How do you...
So that's true. 1934. I feel like that's true.
False.
Oh.
College football played on Thanksgiving has been a tradition since 1876.
Oh, that's true.
Wow.
The NFL joined the tradition in 1934 when the Detroit Lions took on the Chicago Bears. The Detroit Lions have played on Thanksgiving every year since 1934, with the exception of the World War II years, 1939 through 1944.
Interesting. My boy Jamal Williams plays for the Detroit Lions. Shout out to
Jamal
him.
Williams. Shout out.
Shout out to J Swag Daddy.
Jay Swag Daddy. I don't know any football players. I just know Cody's favorite team is Broncos because him and his dad grew up watching the game. And who's the guy that's married to Ciara?
To who?
Ciara, The singer, Sierra.
What's
What's his name? Apparently he like sucks.
Is it a husband or football player?
The football player.
I don't know
No,
his
he
name.
sucks as a football player?
Yeah, apparently.
Or as a person.
I mean, he married Sierra, so I'm sure he has a good.
No, he
Right.
has to be quite amazing.
Right, she's great.
What's his name?
I don't know. I can't think of it.
Anyways, I don't know.
Do you guys like football? Like Americano?
I like the
There's
atmosphere.
things about football that I like.
Yeah, I like the atmosphere. I've had countless people try to explain to me the rules.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I get you're supposed to go this way for that team. That team's supposed to go that way.
I don't know anything about football.
I know like 1%.
I don't know anything. Literally, I'll sit there and I'll be like,
What just happened?
Okay, I gotta teach you guys. I'll teach you guys. It is.
Maybe
It
you
is
can teach
actually.
us in like girl
Yeah, in
form.
like the simplified way, because that's I didn't know anything about football until I came to college, and then me being the most like social human that I know, had to go to all the football games because I was like, I have to live the college experience.
Yeah.
And then I got there and I was like, what's going on? And then I like made friends with a few dudes that were like, okay, this is what's going on. And then I got sucked in so hard. I was so obsessed with.
so you'll love it now.
Oh, I love it.
Really?
Oh, I love football.
See, I want to like get to that point because I'm like, that's a whole other world.
Yeah.
That so many people are part of, and
Yes.
that you are like disconnected of.
And it's interesting to see like how we like, I guess like celebrate football here in like Utah compared to like the Midwest. Like when I was in Wisconsin, like football to here is like, oh, it's so fun. It's a hobby. It's like a pastime. Football in the Midwest is a religion. Like these people
crazy.
live for like the Green Bay Packers. Well, now I'm a big fan of the Green Bay Packers because I lived in Wisconsin. But like my bishop and stuff in my ward would be like, oh, we're not going to church on Sunday because we have tickets to the Packers game. And I'm like, oh yeah, like football to them is sometimes more important than church.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no.
I'm kind of glad the World Cup is like right now because
Yeah.
that's the only sport thing that I care about.
Same.
Like the Olympics.
Oh, those are so
Kind
fun.
of like I watch some of the sports that I kind of think are
The
cool.
World Cup's the World Cup.
But the
dude.
World
The
Cup,
World
it's like
Cup. I know. I made my students.
I will cry. Like
Oh yeah.
it's like a big deal
Yeah.
to me.
And like coming from Brazil, like I feel like
It's like religion.
it is religion for sure. You've had
So
some
fun.
of the greatest players to ever live
Yes.
from Brazil.
Yes.
Isn't it Neymar's last World Cup?
I don't know.
I think I saw a TikTok. It was
Really?
like it's not like an official statement that he's come out with, but it's like more likely than not because of his age.
I don't
know.
think so.
I feel like he's still really young.
Oh yeah.
He
I mean,
is-
he's like 30, I think.
No.
How old is he?
I think he's younger than me.
I think he's younger than me.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
So many.
I know the World Cup is so fun. I love football. I love all the sports. I don't know why I got so into it. Maybe because I'm just like the most competitive person, and I get attached to things really fast. But yeah, I'll show you. I'll teach you guys a little bit about football.
I need to learn.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think at this point, I mean, I've lived in the U.S. at least 10 years, 10 plus years, that I'm like, all right, it's time to really grasp this. It's not just a sport; it's a freaking culture. It's like you said, it's a religion.
Yeah. No, and that's cool that we like all of us kind of came from a different country, not knowing anything about it,
Yeah.
and then we like are adapting to things of this culture, which is kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving.
Neymar is 30. He is older than us. I was like, no, this needs to make sense
He
in my
might
head
look
right
younger.
now.
I just saw it on that thing on that TikTok because they were
Okay.
saying
We're good.
They showed like the really, top football soccer players and like, how it could be their last World Cup.
Okay.
And you
I
were
just
like,
needed to
I feel like
triple
he could
check.
play another 2. Well, maybe
Oh,
38
he's
might be a little.
amazing.
But he could for sure play next World Cup.
What were you saying?
I was saying how I didn't grow up with Thanksgiving. Did you guys grow up with Thanksgiving?
Kinda.
Kind of. Do you guys remember when was your first Thanksgiving?
Well, my first official Thanksgiving was when I was an exchange student in Idaho. That was my first Thanksgiving in America with the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
However, my dad, he traveled to the United States a lot when we were younger, and so he learned about the tradition of Thanksgiving, and he thought, out of all the holidays, this is the one that makes the most sense for me to implement into my family. So he actually, like, we would celebrate Thanksgiving in our own little way at home. And just the way my family made it about, it's like just giving to other people. It wasn't much about like, oh, this is what we have for Thanksgiving dinner. Like, it wasn't much about the food or like little traditions. It was more like when Thanksgiving time comes around in Brazil, that's when we give. That's kind of like what my dad kind of like decided to do with our family. But I didn't have my official Thanksgiving until I was 17.
Okay.
Which was fun and interesting because it was the first time I ever ate turkey.
Wow.
Meat.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
A lot of people don't like turkey, I've realized.
I didn't think it... I like it now. It's just at first, eating meat that you've never had before just tasted so weird to me.
Yeah. You gotta go with the dark meat. Every time I'm like, light or dark, I'm like, dark. That's the best. That's the best part of the turkey.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you remember your first Thanksgiving?
I want to say, and this is probably why I'm just like obsessed with like mashed potatoes. I'm not kidding, and I didn't know that.
I did not know where that sentence was going. It's
potatoes.
You like said it so seriously. It's probably why I'm so obsessed with mashed potatoes.
Really? Tacos, and then there's mashed potatoes.
Oh my gosh! So do you make really good mashed potatoes?
That's the thing. No.
Oh my gosh!
But like I've saved so many recipes.
Okay, but like I feel like I've never had bad mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are good.
They can
always
be good, but then there's those that are just like
Brazilian mashed potatoes, elite.
Really?
Way better than American.
I haven't had those.
Okay, I'll make you some.
Yes.
We make it with the yellow potatoes first of all. That makes a difference.
The golden potatoes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so buttery.
Yeah. No, where I was going with that was, we celebrated Thanksgiving
Weird
in Mexico.
obsession with mashed potatoes.
I'm hungry now.
That's why I married Cody. Single white boy. I wanted mashed potatoes.
You make me mashed potatoes.
No, so we would have the missionaries, the LDS missionaries come to our house a lot in Mexico. And so a lot of them would come up to our house because my mom would make them Thanksgiving food. Because my parents lived in the United States for a couple months. And so I remember having pot roast, mashed potatoes, bread with butter. Like, that was just like an amazing meal that my mom would make. And going to a private American school, we would also celebrate Thanksgiving, like the time of Thanksgiving, and learned everything about Thanksgiving. So yeah, I did grow up with Thanksgiving. But it wasn't until we moved here that I saw there was way more to that Thanksgiving, just dinner and saying what we're grateful for. I mean, there was a turkey bowl, right? Like,
oh, I love that.
Dudes go and play football. Is it the day after Thanksgiving? Or
no, day of, in the morning.
Yeah. Morning of. I didn't know that was a thing. Black Friday, that's a whole other,
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. I feel like, I don't know. I can't think of any.
I still don't know about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of traditions that comes with Thanksgiving that I'm like, oh, like what I was learning in Mexico or what I was living was like a tiny bit of what really the people of America, United States of America celebrate. I'm trying to correct myself because America also includes Mexico.
And Brazil. Everything else.
Yeah, Brazil, like
all Central America,
America,
all South America.
So United
States of America.
The people of you can't say Americans. We're all Americans.
Yeah, we are all Americans. So, anyways, I love Thanksgiving food. More than Christmas
so
food.
I'm so hungry right now.
Should we make things? I got the turkey in my car.
Goodbye. Let's go downstairs.
I mean, it's frozen. So it'll be ready in like 5 days.
5 days. Yeah, so Thanksgiving food, man. I could eat it in the middle of summer and be the happiest gal ever.
I also agree. I love Thanksgiving food. I love everything about it. I love stuffing, cranberry sauce. I love sweet potatoes. I love pumpkin pie. Yeah. I love it all.
I love it too, but I'm not like I could live without it.
I don't know. The combination of the gravy with the butter and the biscuits.
It just fits together so well.
And a little bit of turkey because you don't want to eat that with the butter.
Sleepy.
What I do not get though, like I've had stuffing, but I'm not a huge fan of it.
Me neither.
Oh, I love it.
haven't had like an amazing one.
My favorite one's the cheap 99-cent like stovetop.
What?
It's the best one. Yeah.
See, maybe I haven't had it enough to
people
really compare.
People will make their own stuffing, like homemade. They'll like cut up celery and stuff, and I'm like, no. This is not good. What is good is literally a stovetop, and it's like you like boil a little bit of water, put that stuff in, butter, and you stir it, and then it's like clumpy
Just
and
soggy bread.
it's phenomenal.
That's what it is, right? Is it bread?
It's like bread with a lot of spices and stuff, and like it's kind of like a little bit of the leftovers of everything.
Yeah, and they just mix it all together.
Yeah.
There was this lady on my mission that she took it she was like the bishop's wife on the mission. She was like, Hermana's coming to the house. I had leftover Thanksgiving food. And we're like, perfect. Because we were Spanish. So Thanksgiving food, I'm there.
Right.
We go over. She literally put all the leftovers of Thanksgiving food all in one bowl. Like turkey, mashed potatoes, the stuffing. And I was like, she's like, this is what I give out to the missionaries every year. And they love it. And I was like,
do you hate it?
Wait, you guys... I love that.
I ate it, and it was actually pretty good.
No. You, like, literally eat it all together.
Yeah.
It's so good.
At first, I was like,
Yes.
It's like all mixed together.
Yes.
People do that?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. It actually tastes pretty good.
It's so good.
I mean,
I was really
My
bummed out.
leftovers, I'll put it in a bowl. Like, I won't put it on a plate.
oh yeah, but it's not mixed together.
I mean, I don't, like, whip it.
it's
like,
was it
like
mixed
but it's like,
together?
it's like a bite of turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
All together. It's so good. I mean, that's how I eat it anyway. On my plate, I got, like, tiny bites of everything. And that's one bite.
There's something about you making your own plate and mixing it yourself and someone mixing your food for you. Like, here's everything I'll put together.
Yeah.
Still tastes good.
Yeah, at first I was really sad. I was like, no, I don't know what to do. And then I had it, I was like, oh, it's actually not bad at all.
It's all going the same place.
I will say the most memorable Thanksgivings, I guess, is just like my mission. Because I got there the day of Thanksgiving to my mission in 2013. 2013. Yeah, I got there the day of Thanksgiving. We actually had Thanksgiving at the mission president's house.
Fun.
He picked out a couple of missionaries.
That is so
And my
fun.
trainer was like going through a lot at the time, so he picked her. And of course, I was the trainee, and we had Thanksgiving at the mission president's house, and then we had dinner at like another member's house. And I will say, this is the only Thanksgiving food I've been like really grossed out. They had orange Jello, but like pieces of oranges in the Jello.
No.
I don't like Jello.
Oh, I love Jello, but
That's like a snack, but not.
chunks of stuff in there. Sorry, that's the only one that I was like, bye. Anyways, I love Thanksgiving. The
I'm
food's
like
amazing.
so hungry right now. I hate talking about food. I'm thinking about food.
I just love mashed potatoes.
I ate leftovers from Saturday today.
Good.
So I was eating Thanksgiving food today. I had a lot of Thanksgivings. I moved here when I was 7, so like from that year on, we had Thanksgiving every year. But when I recognized that Thanksgiving was a part of me was when we moved back to Guatemala. I was in high school, and I was like, oh, well, we're not in the United States anymore. Like, we're not celebrating Thanksgiving. And my family was like, no, we're gonna do it. And I was like, why? We don't live there. And my dad always said this. He's like, you know Guatemalan culture, and now you know American culture or United States culture. He's like, take what's good from both and get rid of the things that are bad from each. And I was like, you're right. So then after that, we always celebrated Thanksgiving, at our house in Guatemala. And people in Guatemala are like, we're not gringos. We're not celebrating Thanksgiving. And I'm like, okay, then just miss out on the fun. Then do one normal day when you could have a fun day. You're
Honestly,
lost.
that's the holiday that makes the most sense to me besides Easter. However, Easter is for you have to be a Christian to celebrate it, I guess. But Thanksgiving is for everyone.
Right. Everybody can be
It doesn't
grateful.
matter what religion you are.
I had a Muslim girl do makeup on me for Tanya's wedding, and we were talking about traditions and cultures and stuff. And yeah, they celebrate Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It's a great holiday. It's
you just
for everyone.
added to what you're already practicing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to learn about everybody's celebrations around the world and just start doing them. and celebrate like every week.
Dude,
something new.
I can't say a specific one, but I do remember taking World Religions at Institute, the UVU Institute.
That class
and
is great.
The Jewish, I want to say religion, is that right to say? The Jewish people have and the Muslims have very nice, I guess, holidays or traditions to like celebrate God. And I'm like, why don't we do this? This is like amazing. There's so many wonderful things from like other people.
And like it's actually about God instead of like Christmas here where it's all about everything but Jesus, you know? When it's supposed to be about him, I guess.
Yeah, so, and it's actually interesting, and I was going to dig a little bit more into it, but I didn't have time, but there's other countries that celebrate Thanksgiving too. It might not be for like the same original purposes of like the Pilgrims with supposedly, right, the Native Americans.
Yeah, that story's all jacked up. That's not even
about that.
Yeah.
But they have like their own day of like thanks.
Yeah.
And like being grateful.
I love that.
Being grateful is very cool. I think we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I was gonna say, like, the older I get, the more people I meet, the more cultures I come in contact with, the more I see like different celebrations that I do want to adapt into my life. Like the last 2 years, I've been celebrating Dia de los Muertos because I didn't do that in Guatemala. But like now that I'm here and like a lot of my coworkers are from Mexico, a lot of my friends are from Mexico. I'm like, why don't I celebrate this every year? I'm like, actually, now I am. So I think it is cool as us immigrants to come to the United States and be like, okay, this holiday might be kind of foreign to us, but we see the good in it. It's fun. It's time to spend with family, friends, eat really well, go shopping the next day. And we've adapted it and kind of made it our own as well. And so
I think also like the northern part of Mexico, they celebrate Thanksgiving because of the border.
So close, yeah.
It's just a lot of American influence, so yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah,
I can't say specific cities, but you know, there's more people in the north that celebrate that holiday than
makes sense
than the ones in the middle or southern part.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna talk about one of the big reasons of Thanksgiving is like obviously to be grateful and stuff. And so I don't know if you wanted to talk about the benefits of showing gratitude and being grateful, because it's a life changer to be grateful.
it's like a skill.
100%.
It has changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, curse and a blessing, right? Like all the stuff that you see on social media that you're like, I can't complain.
Yeah.
Like, I have everything compared to a lot of people, you know, in other places.
There's so many things to be
and
grateful
even,
for.
I mean, you hear of like, you know, the poorest people are the happiest, right? Like,
it's all a mindset.
Yeah.
It's how you see the world around you, and
It's all about
where
your
you choose to
perspective
focus
and your attitude.
Yeah, it really is. Honestly, this is kind of personal, but like when I pray, I don't even ask for things anymore.
Yeah.
Because I almost feel like, what is there to add? Like, I feel like whatever I need from God, I guess, I know how to go get it, and I can just like work on it myself. And that doesn't mean that I don't need his help. I do, but it's like, I almost don't want to sit there and ask for anything when I look around and I'm like, it's still going.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. When I look around and just like think about my life, I'm like, I can't ask for anything. Like, I just say thank you, and that's more than enough, you know? Yeah. But
it's true. It's like I look at my life and I'm like, I have so much. Like, if I ask for more, it's like almost greedy. And I like always, I saw this like meme, and it like for years it's like been going around, but it's like, what would you do if like you woke up with the things, or it's like, what is it? It's like
that you prayed for the
right
night before or something.
Yeah, it's like if you don't, and then I always thought about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to say thank you for everything. So now I'm like, thank you for my mom and my dad and my car and my job.
yeah,
But it's like, it's so true. Like that gratitude really just gets us so much further than really anything else.
Yeah. And I think too, after we read the benefits, I think something we can talk about is how to show gratitude, because I went through a long period of my life thinking that all I had to do was say thank you to God in prayer for the things I had. And that is not what gratitude is about at all. Like, you have to understand what gratitude really is, and we can talk about that later. But okay, so I found this thing that explains why gratitude works.
Cool.
And it says gratitude is an easy and effective way of retraining your brain. If you focus on the good, soon you will see more, enjoy more, and appreciate more. And it's so true.
Yeah.
Energy goes where attention goes. This is like my belief system. I'm like,
Energy goes where, yeah.
yeah, literally. If you focus on the good, more things will come your way that are good.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's so true.
So true.
And if you
I
focus
live
on the
by this.
negatives, guess what's going to happen? Negative things.
Yeah.
It's almost like scary to like
I know.
think negative because you're like, oh crap,
I can't
No.
go there. And it should be. It really,
Yeah.
because it is a big deal.
yeah. Right?
That's
It's
how
just-
people ruin their lives, because they're negative and ungrateful.
Seriously, I mean, no matter you're the richest man on earth or the poorest, like if you have that mindset that money cannot buy, yeah, you'll just,
Be miserable.
it's not gonna be the life that you want.
All right. So here's some of the benefits of being grateful.
Okay.
1, it lights up the brain reward pathway, which is so interesting. Thinking about other people doing nice things. This is so interesting. Floods the brain with positive chemicals and sparks brain activity critical to sleep, orgasms, mood regulation, and metabolism.
Are you serious?
Yes. Isn't that insane?
Wait. Okay. So, thinking or like being grateful like releases.
No,
whatever
literally
chemicals?
the thought of thinking of people doing
grateful.
nice
Oh,
things,
that's right.
or of nice things in general.
Like if you see someone in the news like did something nice for someone else,
Pretty much seeing nice things or thinking about nice things.
you can have better sleep because of that.
Well, so, and I wanted to touch on like the better sleep. Like, think about those nights where you're like full of anxiety and stress, and
Every night.
They happen so often.
how good is your sleep that night?
Horrible.
Right.
And the dreams?
Sometimes you have to self-medicate to like
Yeah.
not
Correct.
have those thoughts.
No, for real. So it says, I was also reading an article that says expressing gratitude like right before bed allows you to fall asleep with a more positive outlook, which gives you like higher quality sleep and fewer sleep disturbances.
Oh my gosh.
Do you think that maybe that's why? I mean, from a religious aspect,
We
they're
pray
like,
before
hey, you
bed.
should pray, and it's not because to check it off your list. It actually puts your mind like in a space.
Wow, I
to be
forgot about
grateful.
that.
Yeah, now
So,
that
like,
you say
that's
that,
how
that
you
makes
end your
perfect
day and
sense.
start your day.
See, if
Yeah.
they taught it that way,
And what?
I never clicked. That's why we say
Actually,
morning and
I
night
will
prayers.
be going to teach Sunday school now. No, but it's true, and
That makes
even if
sense.
you're not a religious person, it's still important to like meditate.
Yeah.
Meditate at the beginning.
Yeah.
Meditate at the end of your day. Kind of like just cleanse your mind of the thoughts that you've had running around all day. Cleanse your mind of like just the stress of everyday life, and be like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on something positive, and starting the day with something positive.
Yes.
And in the many ways, that's prayer.
Yeah.
In a non-religious ways, that could be meditation or just like mindfulness and
mindfulness.
Yeah, like writing it down or whatever it is. Okay, another one. Gratitude or being grateful lessens anxiety, like you were saying, and depression symptoms. Challenging negative thought patterns helps to calm the anxious and boost the moods of those who are depressed. Literally.
yeah.
And it's so true.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm having a bad day and I just take time to just like think about the good, I'm like, oh, no, we're good. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't the end of the world. This isn't going to kill me. Like, I will survive this. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
There's more good than bad.
And not that gratitude can like cure depression or anything, but it does really like
it helps.
it helps.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I'm having tough days and I'm like, okay, but at least some days I'm like, I hate my job. The kids are driving me nuts. My coworkers are just like testing me every day. But then I'm like, okay, wait, I'm a teacher. I have a really cool job. Like, I'm out there influencing little people's minds every day. I'm like, no. Like, and then that just changes my whole outlook on everything.
Yeah. Nothing that's like terrible that can ever happen to you will only be terrible.
And I think also as immigrants, and I think this is why maybe I have a hard time not being anxious every day because my mind will always go to like, oh, but there's people in harder situations. Like, I always compare my situation to their situation, and it makes me kind of depressed. So I don't know if it's like the immigrant, because we see...
Because we want more.
Yeah, we're here for a purpose, but we also see other immigrants here that are just still struggling, right? And it's like, oh, we want to help, but, how can you do... like, support. I feel like if anything... I mean, like I said, I don't have an excuse to, like, not feel grateful. And I think also, like, maybe it is a challenge, too, to not compare your life to others. Because then that's when the comparison, like, well, I don't have this. And that's when you get in that negative mindset.
So bad.
But I think that's also maybe, like, oh, I feel so bad for this person. So you just feel kind of, like, guilty, too. So it's almost like a weird balance that you have to, like, stay positive and just, like, all right, if I see someone in need, like, I'll just help them, right? That's just the Good Samaritan. Maybe that's why I have a hard time sometimes, like, staying grateful, because then I see the others that have less than me, but who knows, they probably are happier than me.
You feel bad for having so much.
I feel bad. Like, I want to help. If I had all the money in the world, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then those people probably are, I mean, you hear them say, like, gracias a Dios, like, God Almighty, God all-powerful. And I'm like, you're thinking about God? And, in these situations, like, I think about him, but not, like that. I don't know. It's
like, I still allow myself to be angry when bad things happen to me.
But they're always like, it's for a purpose. It's for a reason.
I know.
I'm like,
some people are just incredible.
Crap. Yeah. So maybe, I guess, kind of rephrase all of that. Like, I see people in harder conditions being more grateful more often than maybe I am. And it's like a teaching, humbling experience.
Yeah.
That we can all
I
take.
know. Ugh.
I know.
Have you seen those TikToks of that guy that I think he's in, like, South America somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And he just, like, chooses a family and, like, builds them a whole house and, like, literally changes their lives. Those videos, they make me sob. Like, it just, like, humbles me so much.
There's days I can't do it, though.
I know. I know, same. I skip them sometimes because
like, I don't have the emotional energy to...
They're so crazy, but it's like, they have nothing. And they're smiling. And here am I, stressed about, like, the most stupid, like... It's just crazy.
I think it's also true, like, let's say you got a flat tire, right? After having a crappy day. Like, of course your emotions are still valid, but you have a job to pay for a new tire, even though it might break the bank a little bit. Those people, something breaks, they don't have the other means, normal means, with, like, money to acquire. Okay, my refrigerator broke. I'll go buy a new one. Some of them don't even have a fridge.
Crazy.
Anyways.
I know. It's like, it's so crazy. The world is a crazy place. Okay. So gratitude improves physical health. So literally it reduces symptoms of illness. It increases social connection, which I love. You can feel greater connection and feel more satisfied with friends, family, school, and community and yourself when you're grateful, which is awesome. It increases empathy and compassion, which you have to have that.
Yeah.
To make it through this
Seriously.
life. It increases resilience, which helps you bounce back from stressful events because you're grateful.
Yeah.
Like, when bad things happen to you, you're grateful, so you just bounce back so much faster.
It's very true.
You recover from bad things. And it also increases heart rate variability. Heart patients who practice gratitude show better moods.
It's almost like...
It's like...
something you have to do every day besides breathing. It sounds like it just improves everything about your life.
It's a big deal.
It really, really does. I was so shocked about this one that I read too. Being more gratitude helps you have higher self-esteem.
Yes, I read that one.
Which is so cool because it... I don't know. I had never put those two together, but it says... Viewing the world with a sense of gratitude can change the way you think about your own worth. Imagine that a friend treats you to lunch. As you express your appreciation, you also begin to realize that your friend is spending time and resources on you because they value you. you then internalize those thoughts. And then you know that you're important to other people.
Yeah.
So it's like showing gratitude. It's like,
my
people are
gosh.
willing to spend time and energy and money or whatever on me because I'm worth it. Crazy.
Yeah, that is really cool. If anything, for me, that's like the biggest one.
Yeah.
It's just like be grateful and know your worth.
Yeah.
And just like you're more than just because you have all these things, like somebody must love you.
Yeah.
Even if it's just God. That is more
but
than
there's
enough.
but like the more grateful you are and the more positive outlook you have, you will attract more people. Like I look at the people that are super negative, that are super like everything is an inconvenience to them. Everything is just like, ugh, I hate this, or like it didn't go my way. I don't want to be around those people. I'm like, you're draining your energy and everybody else's energy around you. But then I hang out with someone that's like, oh, like I'm so grateful for this, or just honestly they have a positive look on everything. I would much rather hang out with that person any day.
Yeah.
Any day.
Yeah.
Which I think goes into what you said, that there's like a lot of social benefits
to
with
it.
gratitude. And also
That's crazy.
one more that I was going to add when you said physical benefits is that there's this thing that says research also shows that grateful people are more likely to engage in healthy behaviors. Because if you're grateful for your body and all that, you're going to want to like exercise. You're going to want to eat healthy. You're going to want to take care of yourself more. And in turn, you will, one, be healthier, live longer, and have like better lifestyle choices.
That is so true. I went through a phase in my life where I was very negative. Like thinking that everything was going wrong. I wasn't getting my way. I felt lost, confused. I felt like I had nothing to build off. Like it was hard. It was like my last year of BYU. I was so negative, and I feel like it affected so many of my relationships because I was just so scared of the future that I didn't think anything good was going to happen to me for some reason. And it's that anxiety of like graduating college and you're like,
What am I going to do now?
now what? But then I felt like that being negative, like being so negative, just took away the joy of understanding how much I had at that time. I'm like, I'm in the United States, which was a huge sacrifice for me to make, to move countries. I can go to college and I'm learning all these things and I have wonderful friends around me, and I'm like, actually there was so much to be grateful for, and everything that I've ever wanted at that time that I was so scared of that I wasn't gonna get, I don't have now, and I don't want those things anymore. So it's crazy because I let it ruin my life and my daily moods, and just like really just bring me down so much because I was not grateful, because I was wanting to want more, and I was everything that I wanted I didn't have. And it's funny because as the time goes by, life changes, and everything that you wanted once is not something you want now, and you let that stress you so much. So it's just pointless to just not be grateful and be negative, because it's just pointless.
Right.
There's no reason.
Life's going to keep going regardless of your attitude, so you might as well just
Make the best out of it.
Okay, so I want to talk about how we can practice and how we can cultivate gratitude. Gratitude isn't something that, like, to some people it does come easy. Some people are very grateful about everything, but some people aren't. And so it does take some effort and commitment. And that's
granted,
the big one.
some people are going through really hard times, right?
Yeah, so here are a few practices that you can do and that we can do and that we could practice together to cultivate gratitude. First one is practice mindfulness. Now, mindfulness for me is probably the thing that I like try to work on the most, and have, I think since I learned of mindfulness, I like try to practice it every single day. And what basically that is being present in the moment and not worrying about 20 minutes from now, not worrying about 20 minutes ago. It's like this moment, and what am I feeling, seeing, sensing right now? So it's remembering to slow down and savor little moments. And that way you can like cultivate gratitude. So tap into your senses, let your mind linger. So if you're sitting somewhere and like, I love to do this, but it's like sometimes I'm driving and I could really think about all the things I have to do. I'm like, okay, I gotta go to Walmart buy this. I gotta go return this. I gotta go to my mom's house for this. But then I'm like, no, stop. I'm like, let me look at the sky. Oh, look at the sunset or the moon or like the song that's playing right now makes me feel so good, you know? So it's focus on little things. Focus on the taste of a strawberry or the feeling of the sun on your skin. Something like just little things, and appreciate those tiny, tiny, tiny moments. Because once we appreciate those tiny moments, they'll build up, and then we'll be more appreciative of the bigger things.
I know. I love mindfulness. Is such a big deal to me, and
Huge.
it's something I've learned like the past 2 years, and I've been practicing it like since going to yoga, like so much. Like I've just learned so much.
It's definitely a skill though.
No,
like you have to develop.
Yes,
And it takes effort. It's not easy.
but it's also not that hard.
Right. You just
It just takes a little bit, like things that make me feel present and mindful is exercising, because there's literally nothing else that matters except for the right now and your effort. Like that will make you feel so.
Sorry.
What was that?
Sorry.
So exercising and like having conversations with people, which I think it's why I love our podcast so much, and coming, like I look forward to that day, because sometimes I'm just alone doing my own thing and being in my own head, and when I come here I'm like, oh, people, like let's talk about things that matter.
Yeah.
Like that's a great way to, like, you don't have to like meditate and like take time out of your day to look at the sky. Those things are great and they work for some people, but sometimes all you need to do is have a real conversation instead of just texting someone. Like that's not very like mindful.
Yeah.
There's like, you have to figure out things that work for you, because it has helped me a lot.
Is it weird to say? Because I feel like the previous generation, like our parents' generation, have a harder time sometimes sitting still.
100%. Do you know how many times I have to tell my parents, I'm like, okay, and
Chill
like the
out.
phrase like stop and smell the roses.
Yeah.
Like the older generation, they're like zooming through life, and sometimes I'm like, you didn't even like notice this tiny little thing that was like so beautiful or so great. I'm like, everybody, like, and that's humanity as a whole. I feel like sometimes we live in this life that we just have to be productive and efficient and just like knock off all our to-do list tasks. And sometimes I'm like, no, just sit down and like take a deep breath, like do some belly breathing, and
don't
like
feel guilty about it. I hate people that make you feel guilty for taking time for yourself. Like that's I hate that.
Yeah, I think just the way that life is set up, like work-wise, school-wise, definitely probably doesn't go with like the stuff they have research regarding like mental health, psychology, therapy. So hopefully there's some change.
It's a broken system, really.
Yeah, very broken. Because I'm like, what if we only work Monday through Thursday? You know, hard, go ham, those 4 days. But then you have 3 days to recover.
I want to do that. If I was ever president, I would do that.
Anyway,
4-day work week.
Yeah, I guess
4-day work weeks.
I don't know if it's like maybe, and I don't want to always bring it back to like the immigrant life, but like I do feel just because that's such a big part of us.
Huge.
I mean, I see our clients, right, that are buying a house, they are working their butts off for their first house. And you know, this is regardless like their family situation, but I don't know, maybe just because we're so used to like kind of like the survival instinct that our parents have had to develop to like come into a new country, learn the new language, learn the new customs, go to work, leave the kids in school, like the whole new life. I feel like sometimes it is harder for them to sit still and like, I'm sure they're grateful. I'm not saying that they're not, but just to sit still in their feelings.
And appreciate the things they've conquered.
Exactly.
Just
Embrace
sit
them.
in your feelings. Yes.
I love my parents. And I feel like one is better than the other regarding like sitting in their feelings. But, you know, there's definitely work or like improvement to be done. But I feel like maybe that's all of us, right? We're never going to be 100% perfect
But it's
at being
also
grateful.
so understandable for that generation and for
Yes.
that situation specifically, because it's like, I feel like a lot of immigrants see it as like your one chance
Yeah. One opportunity.
to make it.
Seize everything up.
Isn't that literally like
Eminem.
But really,
Don't
it's
mind
because
me.
like they've worked so hard to be able to make it, because it's not easy to move to another country. That's like, okay, now that I'm here, and I got this opportunity and not my friends back home.
Yeah.
I need to like the American dream. It needs to be my reality. So you work so hard for it, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But
That's
I think
a whole other topic though, when it
Yeah.
comes to like, what is it, feeling guilty
Mm-hmm.
of like us getting or like enjoying the fruits of the
fruits of
labor
their
of our
labor.
parents, but they don't ever get to
Totally.
enjoy it. Oh,
I know it's me alive. I know.
Yeah, but I agree. I again with gratefulness, because this is.
Yeah.
I remember growing up in like young women's. They're like, all right, have your journal and write what you're grateful for every morning. I'm like, that doesn't work. Like, how does that work? Being grateful and writing it down. Now, obviously, like 10 years later, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's such an important part of a human experience to remember to be grateful, to be grateful at all times. And I think, unfortunately, yeah, like we just didn't grow up with that. Our parents didn't grow up with that. You always just say, be grateful for what God gave you, but then that's it. Like, go back to work.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever kept a gratitude journal?
Oh, I do it
I've
every night.
tried.
You do now?
I've done it. I've been doing it for a long time.
That's incredible. Have you ever done it?
I've tried. And again, I think I just have to get past the mindset of like, this is not going to work. Because I know it's going to work.
Dude,
But
it will
I just
change
believe
your
that.
life.
I
Literally,
just believe that for so long.
all of your anxiety will go away because writing down the things you're grateful for, it's almost like these are the solutions to your problems.
Yeah.
It literally takes away the anxiety of almost every single problem you have.
Yeah.
I do it every night religiously
I love
because
that.
it keeps me like
Yeah.
going.
See, most of my anxiety comes from thinking of what could happen. So it's like future stuff. And I'm like,
Same.
how do I not get myself in that headspace?
But then this is how you do it. Okay, this terrible thing could happen, but at least I have a supporting family, and that will make me be able to go through that. You know, it's still the things that you have right now that can still calm a future anxiety. Like the answers are here and right now.
Yeah.
Really.
That was actually the next thing on the list of ways that we can show gratitude is having a gratitude journal. And I took a student development class in college, and one of like our homework for that whole semester was to keep a gratitude journal every night. We had to write 3 things that had happened to us that day that we were grateful for. And I did it that whole semester, and it did change my life. Like, it really did. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, okay, my house, college, my parents. But then I was like, no, it doesn't have to be these giant things. It could be tiny little things. And I remember I like beat my friend at pool, and I like wrote that as my gratitude, one of my gratitude things. And not only was it so like good to express that gratitude, but it also was like my journal. I ended up being like, oh, this is how I remember what had happened that day. And then months later, I found that little journal and I was reading it, and I remembered those little things that like just boosted me that day. And I was like so happy that I had written those things down, because I'm like, now I remember them. Had I not written them down, I would have forgotten them into the empty abyss of my mind. But now it's like I was able to reread them and like relive those like beautiful little moments of every day.
Yes.
And so actually, I haven't done it since. And
you should.
I think I'm going to.
And that's what I love about keeping a gratitude journal. Not only saying prayers or anything, because I love going back and reminding myself.
100%.
And sometimes it's just like a slap in the face. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was worried about this, you know, or whatever. But I think one important thing about gratitude, I don't even know if this is a term that exists, but like toxic gratitude, where like you should be thankful for this. It's okay to not be grateful for everything, because bad things happen, and you don't necessarily need to be grateful for bad things in your life, right? Because for me, it's like when I got diagnosed with my autoimmune, it crashed my world. It was so hard, and whenever I would like talk to people would be like, yeah, but be grateful that it's not that bad. Or because in my situation, it honestly, like, it affected me a lot, and it's sucky, but like it's not the worst thing, and I don't have the worst symptoms. You know, I've met this one guy at work, and he has Graves' disease, and he has terrible symptoms. Like, he lost all his teeth. Like he lost his bone, like bone and skin. Like, the way he reacted to the disease you can't compare it to me. I'm actually okay, and I take care of it, and I manage it very well. But so like that, when I met him and I got to know his story, it put it into perspective, and it made me great. I probably was the first time in my life that I was like, I'm so grateful that it has not affected me in that way, because it can be so bad. People can die from it, and I'm thriving. So I am grateful. But when I was first diagnosed, it was hard because people were always just like,
at least
you have access to doctors, or and I'm like, yeah, but I hate going there. You know, it's like I couldn't see the brighter side. But now I think working so much in my gratitude perspective, and like I'm still not grateful I have it. I still wish I didn't have it.
For sure.
And it's okay to not be grateful for this. But I'm learning to be grateful for the lessons I'm learning through through what I have.
And I think that can apply to any like challenge we have in life. Like obviously challenges are hard, they're tough, and we hate them, and you're right, you don't have to be grateful, but those challenges always come with like life lessons and learning and growth.
That's why I said
and that's what and that's what we should be grateful for.
And that's
the
where
growth
you need to take out
the lessons that we learned.
It's the good because nothing, like I said earlier today, like nothing that's terrible, it's only terrible. There's always good in the most awful things in the world.
Yin and yang, good and bad, and bad and good. Always.
Even if it's just a lesson you learn, like that is enough.
Correct.
Well,
Correct.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Desi.
Yeah. And I'm really impressed that you keep a gratitude journal. I do. What time does TJ Maxx close? I'm going to buy a journal right now. Just kidding. Another thing that we can do is write notes of appreciation. This is so silly because I used to do this. I used to write my friends notes. I'd be like, hey, just wanted to let you know how grateful I am for you and our friendship, and like I love this and this about you. And I would give it to them. And then for some reason something stopped, and I just haven't done that in like 10 years. But making a conscious effort to like verbally or like writing things down and letting them know that you appreciate them, one, goes such a long way for them. But again, when you put good energy out, you get that good energy back. And so when you make someone feel really good, that makes you feel really good. And I remember I would write my friends' notes. And I think it's because I had this one friend that would do it, and I just kind of copied it because I'm like, oh, it's so cute to write notes. But she was just always writing people notes, and everybody was like so grateful for them. And I wanted that. I was like, I want to make people feel good. And so I did that. But at the end of the day, it made me feel good.
Yes.
And so expressing gratitude makes your life better.
Expressing gratitude is so important. More than just like writing it down in your journal. I think that's helpful. But letting people know, because people are kind, not just because they're kind people. I don't believe in that. I think every kind person or every act of kindness takes effort.
100%.
It's not just like, oh, she's just so kind, she does it like effortlessly, or like she doesn't mind doing this for you, or he doesn't mind, no. It takes effort to be kind, as much effort as it takes to be mean and horrible. So you have to be more conscious of people. Like if they're being kind to you, that's effort on their part, and they deserve the recognition. Shouldn't be entitled to it, but I think shouldn't.
If we are conscious enough to like recognize that they did something for us and put forth, and we do that, that's incredible. But we I guess we shouldn't expect that though. When we do something nice for someone, maybe they don't even realize that we did something nice. No, and you shouldn't expect. And that's just that's when you're like, I just know I'm a G, and that's all I need to know. Like, I'm awesome, and that's it.
Totally.
And the last thing, or that I wanted to talk about in ways that we can, show gratitude or cultivate gratitude, is to revisit and reframe past events. So that... That is huge.
That is therapy right there.
Honestly, yes.
Oh my gosh, Stacey, that's a big one.
I love that word, reframe, because I love, and again, like with writing things down and going back to them and being like, oh my gosh, I lived through this, and in that moment it sucked, and I hated it, and I never want to go through that again. It's like, okay, but now that I know that I came out of it, that I made it, that I survived that, I'm going to go back revisit that and reframe that in a way that I'm like, okay, what lessons did I learn from it? How did I grow from that situation? What things can I even go share with the rest of the world that goes through similar things?
Isn't that what EMDR therapy is all about?
Yeah.
Isn't that the eye thing?
Event.
The dot.
That's not it?
No, I think that's part of it, but like...
I don't know a whole lot about that.
The therapist, and you've done it, right? So you can probably explain better than me, but this is what I've learned about it, is you think about a traumatic event or something that, whatever, and then you revisit, and then you try to change the narrative, kind of like how you will react to it. Like, I'm writing this story, like you almost go back and then you rewrite the story. And you don't take away the facts because things happen, but you can like rewrite your story in regards to what happened to you, right?
I think there's different ways to go about it. For me, it was a lot of things that I suppressed. So it's not that I like was trying to rewrite it. I was trying to bring it back up because it was affecting my emotional self in a way.
Like you're building.
Yeah, that I didn't know until I revisited those things, and I was like, oh, that's why I feel this way. But then it's like, it was the weirdest thing because there was this one, I guess you'd call it traumatic event, that I was just like thinking, anytime I would think about it, I'd be like, I'm so sad. You know, it just made me really, really sad. And then in therapy, I revisited it and I like faced it, and then it was like, all right, you're gone now. Like, and
I processed you.
Yeah, exactly. I think it helps the mind process. So now when I think about that, I don't get those same emotions. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, that was kind of sad, but I don't feel the emotions that I felt when it happened.
That is so important.
Very interesting treatment. That
Is it scary? I feel like it sounds so
Oh, yeah.
scary. I feel like I already know that I can't do it.
It could be scary depending on what happened to you. It could be really awful to go back and relive certain things.
At that time, we didn't even know about my mom's cancer. So none of whatever happened, everything that happened after my mom's cancer. So at the time, I mean, looking back, I'm like, oh, it was so silly. Like, all that stuff was stressing me out. At the time, it was very real to me.
Very valid, yeah.
And it was hard. I don't even think grateful was in my head, you know. I was just in a very dark space. And yeah, therapy, it's so crazy how your body knows that you're going to therapy that day. Because all of a sudden that day, you're going to feel like, oh, why am I so tired? Why do I have brain fog? Why am I drained? Like, I slept good last night. Your body knows what it's about to go through. It's so weird. And I told my therapist, she's like, yeah, that's a thing. When you know that you have therapy that day, your body just goes in kind of in survival mode. It's like, hey, we don't want to go through this.
We're about to go through something.
Yeah. So knowing that helped me push through. And I'm like, okay, this is just my body reacting to what's about to happen. And it's so uncomfortable, and I just can't believe some people can't sit through those, because I'm like, just sit through those couple sessions and your life is going to be so much better after that. Just kind of like suck it up, you know, face it, cry it out, be angry again, but just know that it will all pass.
And it sucks too, because sometimes you're having a good day and you're like, oh, I have therapy today, so which means we're going to touch on topics that might put me in a bad mood or whatever.
But I was going to say something. Yes, kind of regarding, I guess, the last statement that you said. Like, once we go through something, it kind of, was it something like prepares us for whatever's coming next? Is that kind of what you said? And it's very true.
Oh my gosh, that is so true.
It's almost like scary to think, at least in my personal experience, what I've gone through, and I'm like, what else? You know what I mean? Obviously, there's a obviously, there's a whole list of things that could happen, right? Yeah. But I will be very honest right now. I think for me, it was harder to go through my mom's diagnosis than my brother's passing. And that's like a crazy thing to say. But at that time, nothing bad had ever happened to me, except maybe like breaking off my engagement. But that was just like bottom of the list now. Up to that point, I mean, hearing that, you know, no one in our family had gone through, we'd ever mentioned the word cancer, like none of that happened. And then out of all the people, this woman had to get it. The one that was healthy as a freaking mofo. I don't know what to compare it to. Just all these things. It really crashed my world. And so when, you know, Isaac's passing happened, obviously it was a different type of struggle and a different type of heartbreak. But it's almost like, I don't know, going through what my mom went through and the things I would hear at church, the things I heard at Institute, the scriptures I would read, the things that people would say to me, the quotes I would see on Pinterest, all of those somehow prepared me for what was about to happen. And again, this is just my experience. I can't speak for anyone else in my family. But for me, it was easier to go through the passing of my brother because of what I had already gone through.
It builds your faith and character and
it built that foundation. Yeah. Whereas if that would have happened first, oh my goodness, you know what I mean?
Oh, totally. God,
if it was the other way around, if all those events were somehow changed, I have no idea.
So you could say you can like revisit and reframe your mom's like diagnosis and like see it with an eye of like gratitude. I mean, like even though it was really hard and like probably super stressful and scary.
Yeah.
Now you can look back. And not that it was ever a good thing, but you can see it like as like, okay, it did prepare me for
I think it prepared everyone.
Which is kind of terrifying to think about because it's like, okay, I've gone through some things. Is it just going to get worse?
Yeah, I think that's part of my anxiety that I'm trying to work through. And I've realized that I'm like, okay, I really have to kind of go back to therapy, not because of traumatic events, but it's like, now I'm kind of worried about the future, and that's something I've never had to worry about. But I think that's just part of growing up too. You just realize all this stuff.
Yeah.
And those things, I think you just gotta have to remember that you've gone through hard things and you've been able to overcome them.
Yeah.
And whatever comes your way, you'll be able to overcome that as well, and you'll come out a stronger, more resilient person.
There you go.
You'll bounce back.
Yeah, you bounce back.
That's the
Last night took an L, but tonight I bounced back.
Words of Big Sean.
Words of wisdom.
I'm out here quoting rappers all day.
Eminem, Big Sean. Hey, they know something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're straight spitting facts.
And I think too, it's like not looking at bad things that happen to you as bad things are happening to me.
Yeah.
I think what helps me is just like lessons that I have to learn. And you do not learn lessons. That's just how life works. Like, Humans don't learn lessons the easy way. You have to suffer to learn. It's just the system
And
of
there
life.
is no one in this world that is not suffering.
No.
There's like this quote that I read. It's like, life is fair because it's unfair to everyone.
That's the only thing fair about life. That's unfair to everyone.
And it's true. We all go through these things. And so all these lessons can apply to us. Like, find good things in the challenges and grow from them and learn from them.
There's definitely more positives that have come to my mind. Or that I have seen.
You just have to shift.
After diagnosis and sibling death, that it's like, I don't know. I just, again, my mind goes again to other people's suffering. And I'm like, okay, mine's not that bad. But I'm still going through my emotions. But then I think of, those war-torn countries. Everything that's going on the other side of the world. And I'm like, this is people's everyday life. I think there's a saying in Spanish, and I don't know the actual translation, but it's like, if we were all to go to a pozo, a well, and we wanted to get rid of our problems, like we would carry a bucket with all of our problems, and we saw everyone that got to that well and saw their problems, the dicho or the saying says, we would happily take our problems home with us.
Most likely.
Because, like you said, everyone's suffering. Some are just different levels and just different, different situations that you're like, actually, I'll just keep my problems. Like, I'll suffer through them. But
I don't want to go through what you're going through.
Exactly. I'd rather go through what I'm going through than what person's going through.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think one thing I've noticed about you as a person, like, because I met you after, like, in the middle of the mess. Yeah. I didn't know you when things were calm in your life, really. I met you in the mess. And one thing that I've always, like, thought about you is that you have a lot of empathy. Like, for me, I love all of my friends, and they're very good listeners, but like there's something special about talking to Caro because she has so much empathy. And it's so true.
Agree.
For real, because so many things happen. Like every time I talk to you, you always think about, oh, but maybe he didn't mean it like that. Or like you see the other perspective so much easier than I do. Like it's so calming and like to talk to you really, because like you're the person, like I love going to Stacy for my problems because she's a good listener. She gives great advice. And I can't compare. I'm not doing that.
No, but you
Compare us.
Who do you like more, Desi?
I'm just saying, Caro is really one of number one friends that have the most empathy, and it's just so impressive.
No, I totally
Even if you're talking
agree.
about like someone else's life, and you're like, dude, did you hear what happened about this? Like she sees the other side, and I'm quickly humbled.
You
like,
empathize
oh my God,
with
how does she
everyone.
does that? And it's because you've been through so much, and you've been through the hardest thing someone could ever go through. Like I don't think there's anything harder than losing a little brother or a family member. Like how do you top that off? Like that's, for me, my perspective of the world, that's the hardest thing. And it built your character so much. It made you such a good person and such a great friend, and I hope you know that. Like I know that sometimes that doesn't seem like, oh, I'd rather have my character be built than lose a little brother. Like how do you, I know you still have rather
I'd
have
rather
him.
be like a stupid ghetto ass crazy chick.
I know you still
But I
rather have
can't.
him.
You can't.
But I hope you know, like we are all being blessed because certain things happen to you.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gato had a birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Big 29.
I know. Last year of your 20s.
Oh my god.
Been a ride.
I
Yes.
know, that's crazy.
So crazy.
I know. But I just wanted to tell you that I love you so much. And it's cool that like we've known each other for a lot of years. And we were friends, but we weren't like, oh, let's hang out every day.
Yeah.
But doing this together with you has like just made me see you in such a different light. And I'm like, you are such like a complete person. Like you are so like, I know you've dealt with a lot of things, but you really have like, you're in control in a lot of ways. And like, you are so like whole. I don't even know how to like describe that, but you really are like good at like every like part of your life. Like you're badass mom, businesswoman, like you have talent,
Amazing wife.
you are such a good wife, you are a good daughter, and like you're an incredible friend. And I posted on Instagram and I was like, I love that we're building something so beautiful together, because I really wouldn't want to do it with anybody else but like you guys.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Flow so well.
Yeah, and so you guys,
Thank you.
you are so incredible, and I'm really, really so grateful to have you in my life. And this goes for you too, Desi.
Thank you.
I really am so grateful for this
I'm crying.
opportunity. Just because it really has been such a cool thing for us to do and to share like our thoughts and experiences with other girls and boys out there that may need to hear even just like small things. And if nobody's even listening, it's for me. Honestly, I've been learning so much with you guys, and you guys have taught me so much. So I am really, really grateful for both of you and this little podcast.
I agree. Ditto.
Ditto.
Yeah, I think after this podcast, it brought. I mean, I knew feeling grateful was like good, but I didn't know all the health benefits.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's like you drink water, you breathe, and you be grateful, and that's a good day.
Yeah.
That's
And
all
so
you really need.
I will definitely try to implement more things, and I'll get a gratitude journal.
Yeah. Journaling to me is really daunting. I'm like, oh, I don't want to write everything. But like literally 3 little things that happen to you in one day that you're like, oh, I love that. I'm so grateful for this.
And you have to be authentic and genuine about
Yeah.
it. You can't just write the same list every day. You could, whatever helps you. But there's just things that made that day better for you, and you can acknowledge.
Yeah.
You know?
No, for sure. So, yeah, I'm glad that we talked about this, and hopefully everyone's Thanksgiving this year is good. I know holidays can be bittersweet for so many, but I think if we focus on the good things and just try to feel happy for even a couple moments. You know, just forget about whatever's happened. Just try to enjoy being present. I think that's part of also like feeling grateful. Yeah. Just be present. Don't think about the past or the future. Just be grateful that you're there with family or friends or your dog, whatever it is. So, I feel like with all the craziness in the world, I feel like every Thanksgiving will just be a little bit more special, just because, you know, we see all the blessings and the things that we really do have in life, in this country. So
yeah,
we're so blessed.
Yeah. And I'm really grateful for those of you that like leave comments and text me and say just like cute things about the podcast. Like honestly, I am so grateful for those little messages. Those like keep me going. I'm like, yes, let's record another one for you.
I know that one person. This is for you.
This is going.
But yeah, like you said, we want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. We hope that you find things to be grateful for and take that extra or put forth a little bit more effort into finding little bits of gratitude throughout your day, because they really do make your life better, and it's free. You know, most things in life aren't free, but this one is. It's free. It's free to be grateful.
It's free. Be grateful. And remember, gratitude is action.
Yeah.
What is it? Gratitude is
have an attitude of gratitude.
Yeah. I was like, I know it rhymes with attitude. Have an attitude of gratitude.
As cheesy as it may be, it's true. It will make your life better socially, physically, emotionally, in all the ways. And I can attest to that. I have been trying to be very grateful for all the little things, and I think my life is pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Cannot complain. Okay, well, that being said, thank you so much for listening. We love you so much.
Yes.
And we hope to always have you here with us.
Yes.
And I hope you guys have a wonderful week.
And a happy Thanksgiving.
And
we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
And join us next week for our next episode.